Happy June! We're now halfway through the year and May is over, so of course it's time to go over all the games I played in May. We had some absolutely amazing games this month. Unfortunately, there were some that we were going to finish in May, but I ended up getting sick and having to take a couple days off stream, so we're going to be finishing them June instead, but we did still get to finish 3 games. The first of these were BioShock 2. We played the PS4 version of the game, and this, I think, is my favourite BioShock out of the trilogy. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, so slightly more than the original game. I think the only reason I preferred this one more is because of the drill hand, to be honest. I think the combat in this game was a lot better than the first game, but I prefer the story from the first one. And following along with BioShock, we finished off the series playing Infinite. Infinite is getting a 7.5 out of 10, so 7.5 for this one, 8 for the first game, and 9 for the second game. It is my least favourite of the trilogy, but not because it's a bad game. I loved this game, it was super fun, I loved the story. The twist at the end literally had me slack-jawed, like it was great. I'm just comparing it to the other 2 BioShock games, and I think it did feel the most disjointed compared to them, but I still loved this game. Please don't get me wrong. I do plan on going back in the future and playing the DLCs for not only this, but for the second game as well. And lastly, we finished off the PS1 trilogy with Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Now, I have a lot I could say about this game. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I have been loving the original trilogy of Resident Evil games, and this was no exception. I think it does have a little less replayability than something like number 2. I know there's still 2 endings in this. I got apparently the non-canon one, so maybe I'll go back one day and do the other one. But it was so much fun. People are gonna wonder if I prefer this or the remake now, and truthfully that's its whole discussion, but I found them to be so different that I don't think I can compare them, honestly. They both do some things good, they both do some things that I'm not a big fan of, but saying that one is better than the other, honestly, I think is unfair, because they are so different. Other than the story and the characters in this game, no similarities. None. All the boss fights are different, the locations are different almost entirely. There's just whole sections that aren't in the remake, but then there's some bits in the remake that aren't properly fleshed out in this one either. There's just so many different things that comparing them feels unfair, so I'm standing it up to its own game and compared to the rest of the original trilogy, not the remakes. But that was May for us, so I do plan on finishing a couple other games in June as well, so we'll see where that takes us. Stick around.